He forgot to turn off his Bluetooth and his phone connected to my car speakers. I heard him say, "She still has no clue." I drove straight to the restaurant he was at and ordered a drink for his table, under the name Clue. It was just a normal Tuesday in Louisville. Cold. Wet. The kind of day where you just want to get home, change into sweatpants, and pretend the world doesn't exist. My car had been acting up for weeks, and Trevor, my boyfriend of nearly 3 years, offered to take it in for me before work. He dropped it off, handled the mechanic, and left it at the shop for me to pick up after. Thoughtful, right? He always did little things like that. Made it easy to trust him. Too easy, it turns out. So I picked up the car around 4:30 p.m. The sky was already dark. I got in, pulled out of the lot, and started driving home. That's when it happened. I was waiting at a red light, thinking about what leftovers I might heat up for dinner, when my car's Bluetooth made that familiar ping. Trevor's iPhone connected. At first, I didn't think anything of it. He'd driven the car earlier. Maybe it just auto-connected by mistake. I figured it would disconnect after a few seconds. But it didn't. Then I heard his voice, loud and clear through the car speakers. "She still has no clue. I think I could probably stretch this another month or two. After that, I'm done." I froze. Just like that, my whole body locked up. My heart started pounding so hard I could feel it in my ears. I didn't touch anything, just sat there in traffic, letting the rain slap against the windshield while my world cracked open. Then I heard a woman's voice. She laughed. "You're awful." "Poor girl." He laughed too. "I mean, she's sweet. I'm not trying to hurt her. I just didn't expect things with you to get this serious so fast." That's all I needed to hear. My hands were shaking as I pulled into the first parking lot I could find, a CVS off Bardstown Road. I threw the car in park and just sat there, staring at the dash. I didn't cry. Not yet. I just listened. They didn't say anything else too direct after that, but the tone, the intimacy in their voices, was worse than any words. Trevor wasn't at work. He wasn't even trying to hide that he was cheating. He was comfortable, cocky, saying he could stretch this another month or two. Like I was some subscription he was about to cancel. And that's when something inside me clicked. I didn't know what I was going to do yet, but I knew I wasn't going to be quiet. I wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of walking away clean. No, he was going to feel this. I thought about calling him right then and there, screaming, confronting him through the same speakers he'd just used to expose himself. But no, that wasn't enough. I wanted him to know I knew, and I wanted it to sting. I started driving again, but not home. I went downtown instead. A few weeks earlier, Trevor had told me he was out late at the Oak Room for a work dinner. He even sent me a blurry picture of some steak, said it was comped by the hospital. But I'd found a receipt in his coat pocket a few days later. Time-stamped 8:17 p.m., 2 entrees, 1 bottle of red wine. He'd said he got home by 9. Now I knew why that didn't add up. It was the only restaurant fancy enough for him to try and impress someone. And it was a Tuesday again, low crowd, easier to sneak around. My gut told me that's where he was. I parked a little ways down the street and walked through the rain. I was soaked by the time I got to the front door, hair sticking to my neck, boots squishing with each step. But I didn't care. I walked straight past the hostess stand before she stopped me. "Excuse me, do you have a reservation?" I paused, took a breath. "I just want to send a drink to someone's table. It's a surprise. I'm not staying." She hesitated. "Do you know the table number?" I looked past her, scanning the dining room. Then I saw him. Trevor. Sitting in a corner booth with a woman I didn't recognize. She was pretty, polished, looked like she worked in HR or something. They were leaned in close, laughing. He didn't look like someone who felt guilty. "I don't know the table number," I said. "But the guy's name is Trevor. About 6 feet 2 inches, beard, dark jacket. He's sitting with a woman. Could you send them a drink?" "Sure," she said slowly, eyeing me like she was trying to figure out if this was about to get messy. What name should I put on the ticket? I didn't even blink. Clue. She tilted her head. Clue. Yeah, I said. Like the game. Just right from Clue. The hostess looked uncertain but nodded. All right. I went to the bar and sat down, back facing the dining room. I didn't need to see his face. I just needed to imagine it when he read the name. A few minutes passed. Then I heard it. His voice not loud, but sharp. What the hell? I imagined him turning the receipt over, rereading it, trying to figure it out. The woman he was with laughed nervously. Is that some kind of joke? Silence. Awkward, heavy silence. That was enough for me. I got up and walked out without looking back. That night, I didn't text him. Didn't call. I waited. Let him stew. Let him wonder how I knew when I'd figured it out and what I'd do next. And trust me, I wasn't done. I didn't hear from Trevor that night. Which, honestly, surprised me. I figured he'd call, or at least text something weak like, hey, can we talk? But nope. Nothing. Not even a breadcrumb. Maybe he didn't know it was me. Or maybe he thought I'd never be bold enough to do something like that. He was wrong. The next morning, I acted normal. I went to work. I smiled at coworkers. I drank my coffee like I hadn't just shattered the man's fantasy life the night before. But inside, I was boiling. Not just because of the betrayal, but because of how long I let it slide without seeing the signs. That night, I finally got a text from him. Trevor, hey babe. Weird thing happened last night. Someone sent us a drink with a weird name on it, LOL. You know anything about that? I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed back, me, yeah, that was me. 3 dots popped up, then disappeared, then popped up again. Classic Trevor, trying to come up with a lie fast enough to save himself. He finally replied, Trevor, wait, what? Why? Were you there? Me, your phone connected to my car by accident. I heard you say I still have no clue. So I decided to get one. Again. 3 dots. Then a pause. Trevor, okay. I can explain. It's not what it sounded like. Sure. The classic line. I didn't answer. He tried again. Trevor, can we talk? Please. In person. I waited a full day before responding. I told him we could meet. I picked the coffee shop near his apartment. The one where we had our first date. I wanted the location to sting. When I got there, he was already sitting at the back, looking like hell. Unshaven, hoodie on, bags under his eyes. The smell of guilt was thick. Hey, he said, barely above a whisper. I sat down across from him. So who is she? He rubbed his hands together. She's someone from work. I didn't mean for it to go that far. I swear. You told her you'd stretch this another month or 2. Sounds like it went pretty far. He looked around, lowered his voice. Okay, yeah. It wasn't just a one-time thing. But I didn't end it because I didn't know how to. I leaned forward. You didn't end it because you were comfortable. You were eating your cake and screwing it too. He didn't deny it. He just looked down. I've been good to you, I said. I've been loyal. Patient. I even let the late nights slide. The missed calls. The changed passwords. And you lied to my face. I know, he said. And I feel awful. I stood up. Not yet. But you will. I left him sitting there. Now, this could have been the end. I could have blocked him, ghosted, healed, moved on. But I wanted him to feel it longer. I wanted to ruin the safe little bubble he'd created, the one where he got to cheat and still have me in his back pocket. So I started planning. Not illegal stuff. Nothing crazy. Just smart. Quiet. And it started with the hospital where he worked. See, Trevor had a habit of bragging. And one night, a few months ago, he told me something he probably shouldn't have. Something about how his buddy in HR helped him get paid for on-call hours he didn't actually work. Just a few here and there, he'd said. It's easy if you know the system. Well, I remembered the buddy's name. And I remembered how Trevor once showed me his payroll app when he was flexing about how much his bonus was. So I made a call. Anonymous tip line. Told them everything. His name. The HR guy's name. The hours. The pattern. Then I waited. It took about 2 weeks before I heard anything back. Not from Trevor, of course. He'd been texting off and on, swinging between apologetic and pathetic. Messages like, "Can we just start over? We had something real. You're really gonna throw away 3 years over one mistake?" One mistake. As if cheating, lying, and stealing time from his job was just a slip of the tongue. I ignored every message. Then, one Thursday morning, I got a call from a blocked number. I don't usually answer those, but something told me to pick it up. "Hello, is this? I'm looking for someone who submitted a tip to the Norton Healthcare Ethics Hotline." I paused. "Maybe?" "Why?" The voice hesitated. "I can't confirm anything unless you are the person who submitted the tip. I just want to say we're following up. We've launched an internal audit. It's being taken seriously." I smiled. "That's good to hear. Do you work with the employee in question?" "No. Just someone who knows what he's been doing." "Understood. Thank you. That's all we need for now." Click. I didn't tell anyone what I'd done. Not my friends, not my sister. It felt too raw, too personal. Besides, I didn't want anyone trying to talk me out of it. Trevor had built his world on lies, and now it was time for them to rot from the inside. But the twist? It wasn't just Trevor on the line. His little buddy in HR? The guy who helped him fudge the payroll? Turns out, he'd done the same for a few others. And once the audit started, they started pulling logs. Emails. VPN access reports. Trevor called me the next week. I didn't answer. So he left a voicemail. His voice was shaking. "Hey, I don't know what the hell you did, but they're investigating me. HR pulled me in today. They think I was stealing hours. I swear, if you're the one behind this, please, just stop. I'm gonna lose my job." I played that voicemail back 3 times. Then I saved it. That weekend, I saw her. The woman he was cheating with. Her name was Erin. I'd found her through some digging. Nothing crazy. Just a few tags on old Instagram posts, comments she'd left on his pictures that he'd forgotten to delete. Erin worked in marketing at the same hospital. So I showed up outside one of their fundraising events, dressed nice, clipboard in hand. "Hey, are you Erin?" I asked her with a smile. She blinked. "Yes, I'm with Donor Relations. We're doing an internal spotlight on employees who contribute behind the scenes, like partners of staff members. You're seeing Trevor, right?" She looked confused. "Yeah, why?" "Oh, just wondering if you'd like to be included. Maybe a quote about what it's like dating someone in the IT department." Her face shifted. "He told me he was single." I gave her a long look. "Did he tell you he was on call all those nights? That he works late every week?" She blinked. I handed her a folded note. "Here, just in case you want to know the truth." I walked away. Didn't turn around. Didn't need to. Inside that note was a screenshot of our texts. Voicemails. Even a photo of us from 2 months ago at his nephew's birthday party. His arm around me, grinning. She didn't deserve it either. She might have laughed with him that night, but she was lied to just like I was. I didn't hear from her. But 2 days later, Trevor's Instagram vanished. Deleted. Facebook too. Then I got a text. "Trevor, why are you doing this? You've made your point." But I wasn't done. Because Trevor wasn't just unfaithful. He was careless. Sloppy. And worst of all, smug. I couldn't erase the way he laughed when he said I had no clue. And soon he was going to lose more than just his job. A week after he sent that last message, I drove past Trevor's place one last time. The blinds were closed. The driveway was empty. The mailbox had a red notice clipped to it, some kind of official-looking envelope peeking out. I didn't even slow down. I already knew what it meant. My friend Cassie, who still had mutuals with people at the hospital, filled me in over coffee. "He's done," she said. "Terminated. His HR friend too. Internal fraud. They might face charges." I nodded, stirred my coffee. "And Erin?" she asked. "Gone," I said. "She moved departments. No more marketing. She's quiet on social. I doubt she'll ever speak to him again." Cassie whistled. "Damn, you really nuked his whole life." I gave her a tired smile. He handed me the matches. But here's the part one didn't expect. That whole time, while I was planning, scheming, setting things in motion, I thought I was doing it for justice. Maybe even closure. But it didn't feel good in the way I thought it would. The first time I saw the voicemail from him crying, I smiled. The second time, I felt tired. The third time, I deleted it. I wasn't the same person anymore. I'd changed, hardened. Not just because of what he did, but because of who I became trying to burn him down. And maybe I went too far. Because 3 weeks after the fallout, I got a knock at my door. It was Trevor's sister. Her eyes were red. "Can we talk?" she asked. I let her in. She told me Trevor had been crashing at a friend's house since losing everything. That his name was getting dragged through every hallway in the hospital system. That he was drinking more, sleeping less. He'd called their mom crying for the first time in years. "He messed up," she said. "No question. But you took everything." I didn't say anything. Then she pulled something from her bag. "A letter. He asked me to give you this." She left without another word. I sat on the couch and read it. Trevor's handwriting was shaky. He apologized. Over and over. Said he didn't expect me to forgive him. Didn't even ask me to. Just wanted me to know he never planned to hurt me like that. That he thought he was too smart to get caught, and that losing me destroyed him more than the job ever could. I set the letter down and stared at the wall for a long time. Later that night, I burned it in the sink. Not out of rage, but because I didn't need it anymore. He was right. He didn't think I had a clue. But now he knows what happens when I do. And me? I know now that revenge doesn't always heal. Sometimes it just proves a point. Sometimes it leaves scars on both sides. I don't regret exposing him. I don't regret taking back my power. But I do regret not walking away sooner, before I became someone who needed revenge to feel whole again. That's on me. And that's where this story ends. Not with a happily ever after. Just with the truth. And the silence that finally followed it. A month passed. Then another. People moved on. New gossip took over at the hospital. Erin started dating someone else, someone outside of work this time. Trevor's old job was posted on LinkedIn with a salary range that was way lower than what he bragged about earning. I never told anyone else what I did. Not in full. Cassie suspected, maybe, but I let her fill in the blanks however she wanted. My family didn't ask and I didn't offer. But the quiet got louder. Some nights, I'd lie in bed and think about all of it again. The Bluetooth connection. The rain. That waitress writing "clue" on the ticket. Him, probably thinking it was just some random prank until he pieced it together. I thought those thoughts would make me feel strong. Like I'd won. But it didn't feel like winning. Not exactly. I'd scorched the earth. And now there was nothing left of that part of my life. No keepsakes. No memories I could look back on without tasting bitterness in the back of my throat. And I realized something ugly. Revenge changes you, whether you want it to or not. It gives you a kind of power, but it costs peace. It was a few months later when I ran into him. At a Kroger of all places. He looked thin, pale, like life had drained some color from him. He was pushing a cart with a few sad-looking frozen meals and a six-pack. We locked eyes. He froze. I kept walking. He called after me, "Hey, wait." I turned. "Why?" He walked up, cautiously. "I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Again. I know you probably hate me." I shrugged. "I don't hate you. I just don't care anymore." His face twisted a little, like those words hurt more than anything else I could have said. That's fair, he said. We stood there awkwardly for a moment. You really wrecked me, he finally said. You could have just dumped me. You didn't have to destroy everything. I nodded. And you didn't have to lie. Cheat. Use me. We both made choices. He looked away. Yeah, I guess we did. I walked off before he could say more, because I realized something else in that moment. My revenge worked. He was broken, ashamed, and still trying to figure out how he lost so much so fast. But me? I was free. I didn't need him to be ruined anymore. I didn't need to be angry. I didn't even need to win. I just needed to be done. And I was, really, finally done.